Time flew by, and I got a little older. By this point, I had already settled into my new home away from Japan. I used to be a crybaby, but now I could hold my own in an argument. I hadn't seen Alice in years. At first we exchanged letters, but at some point he stopped sending any. It made me sad, but I forced myself to let it go. The passage of time had simply pulled us apart. Oh, it's from Ryoshi! Then one day I got a letter from my older brother. This was highly unusual. He was working at a mental health facility out in the countryside. The two of us were never very close. He felt more like a stranger to me. I opened the envelope and found a letter describing one of his patients. Put simply, Ryoshi wanted me to help him. So I immediately filed all the necessary paperwork and got on a plane back to Japan.
His mother's family disowned their daughter after she married a foreigner. Poor thing. He and his mother tried to make it on their own, but then she passed away. So he was shuffled around between all of his maternal relatives, until he ultimately ended up in foster care. But things didn't go well for him there either. Finally, someone noticed something was wrong with him and took him to the hospital, where he was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. They recommended he have himself committed. But the doctor who was working with him threw in the towel, so now Ryoshi's been assigned to him. And now you're all up to date. Due to repeated instances of malnutrition, his growth has been stunted. Naturally, he has big gaps in his schooling too, so his grades have suffered.
Guess we won't be going to the same college then.
Probably not. Frankly, it's hard to say whether the community college will take him either. He'll have to take a lot of precautions in his daily life, since he can't predict when he'll switch personalities. So how do you feel about this? Still comfortable with them joining our family? Seeing as you're the one they'd be living with, I wanted to give you the chance to decline.
He looked at me hesitantly, but I spoke firmly. Dad, I'm fine with it. I want to help him. I had begged and begged my family. I wanted nothing more than to rescue them from their plight. And so we decided to meet with them first.
Come on in. Okay.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, did you know this was the boy from way back when? Or was this just, like, faceless person? And then you're like, oh my god, it's Alice. Alice! As soon as I laid eyes on him, I pounced.
Whoa!
I finally found you! The moment I read my brother's letter, I knew. I knew the patient he described was Alice. Okay. So that's why you were so, like, I begged and I begged and I begged.
It's you.
Do you remember me? It's me, Arisu! Eureka Arisu!
Eureka Arisu.
I'm sorry I lost contact with you for so long. I sent so many letters, but I had no idea what you were going through all this time.
I'm sorry. I don't remember you.
My heart ached like it was being crushed in a vise. Good job, Alice. Oh, okay. Well, it's been 10 years now. Can't really blame you. When I backed away, however, something caught my eye. That ribbon. You're still wearing it.
My ribbon?
Even if he'd forgotten me, the two of us were still connected. That alone was enough for me. Okay, so she didn't catch on that he was lying at this junction. Kai.
Why are you crying?
I'm sorry. I'm just so happy. It's nice to meet you, Alistair. My name is Eureka Arisu. Let's be friends, okay? From there, we started discussing the prospective adoption right away.
You've really grown, you know that. I'm not sure if you remember, but we met a handful of times when you were still a boy. Oh. Sorry, I don't. No surprise there. You were a small child, after all. Would you mind if I had a cigarette? Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Dad!
All right. Sorry.
My father quickly retracted his hand. Idly, he laced his fingers together and let out a sigh.
I don't like beating around the bush, so I'm just going to be straight with you. Alistair, can I adopt you as my son? What? I like to think I have a decent understanding of your background, and I'm certain I can help you. You mean... Precisely. I hear you've been struggling for a long time now. I don't envy that. Well, not to worry. I'll make sure you're provided for.
I kept a reassuring smile on my face so he wouldn't feel nervous. But then the conversation hit a snag. All at once his demeanor shifted. Cinderella?
Besides, we have enough money to support you for the foreseeable future. If you joined our family, I'm sure we could ease your burden. Well, it's a tempting offer, not gonna lie.
His expression and manner of speech was now completely different.
I think so too. Frankly, I had a few misgivings about this proposal myself. Family friend or not, I had only met you a few times many years back, and my daughter's only just turned 18. I've thought long and hard about whether it's right to force the two of you to share a roof. You see, my daughter has never been the fussy type. She's always accepted the decisions we've made without complaint. And while this has generally made our lives a lot easier, I could never be sure how she actually felt about things. Some father I turned out to be, eh?
Dad? My father still had yet to notice that a very different person was now sitting in front of him.
But since my daughter's so eager to bring you into the fold, I don't see why my wife and I should hesitate. So, what do you say? Alistair? I can't be your son.
That's Cinderella.
Ryoshi whispered into my father's ear. My father was mildly alarmed, but quickly composed himself. I think I have a good understanding of your situation and can handle this. Immediately fails at the first opportunity.
Can you explain this to us so we can understand where you're coming from?
Yes, sir. As you know, my family's been saddled with a lot of debt. The kind of debt I could spend my whole life trying to pay back.
Your father's debt, correct?
Yes.
Well then, there's no need for you to pay it off, is there? Assuming you cut ties with your father, of course. What's the issue?
I just can't accept it.
Cinderella was unwavering in his opinion. Meanwhile, my parents were visibly perplexed. So I decided I needed to speak up, but before I could...
Then, instead of us adopting you, what if we arranged a marriage?
You proposed this in reality as well, Ryoshi? What is wrong with this family? What is the dealio with this family? Like, did they fall too far into the rabbit hole of mental health and then didn't realize how far they had fallen themselves? Ay. My brother made an unexpected proposal.
Huh? You can move in under the condition that you agree to marry my sister, Yurika Arisu. Nothing weird about living with your fiancé, right? We'll call it a test run. And of course, if you ever change your mind, we can terminate the agreement.
Well...
I suppose it's too much to ask for an immediate answer. Think it over.
Yes, sir.
Now, was Cinderella the only one who was aware of the engagement scenario? Or... were all of them? In which case, that would play into the wizard's route handily. When I spotted Ryoshi stepping outside for a cigarette, I followed him out and said, bro, you want to fill me in? I never thought I'd see you come to my rescue.
I didn't do it for you. I did it for Alistair. It was the only way to resolve the problem.
By volunteering me as a prize?
You got a problem with that?
Not really. So that was Cinderella, huh? He really did seem like a totally different person. And the way he talked was different too.
Well, he is a different person.
But he's still Alistair. They're all a part of him. They may seem like independent people operating outside of his memory, but ultimately they're just a manifestation of his emotions. Can they be fused somehow?
Doubtful. They all have their own trauma, and I don't think Alistair is prepared to bear the full burden.
I see. Just then... Who's this one? Is it still Cinderella or is it Red? Suddenly, I felt someone's eyes on me and looked over. Alistair was standing in the shadows, watching. What the... Alistair? Why is he glaring at us like that? Ryoshi turned me back toward him.
Which one of us is he glaring at?
I don't know. But I feel like it might be you. Okay, definitely Red. Is that really Alistair?
No, it's not. Something's different. Just pretend you don't notice.
How come?
I want to observe his reaction. He might be a new personality, or...
Okay. I nodded quietly, then changed the subject. Anyway, I sure was surprised to get that letter from you. To think your patient was the same guy I've been trying to find.
I wasn't expecting you to know him either.
Guess it's just one of those weird sibling connections, huh? Or maybe it's fate. I made it sound like a joke, but I was actually serious. I believed it was fate that brought us back together. Maybe that's why I felt so attuned to him. I could somehow sense the subtle distinctions in Alistair's behavior and manner of speech. Hey, Ryoshi? You said his personalities are called Cinderella, Snow White, Red Riding Hood, and Kaguya, right?
Oh, yeah. What about it?
Well, Alistair seems to have forgotten all about me. I was just wondering why that might be.
There's a few possibilities. Maybe his memories of you weren't that important. Or maybe everything that happened forced those memories down into his subconscious. Or...
maybe there's another personality lurking in there.
Sure, it's possible. Take Snow White, for example. If I didn't know he existed, he might have faded away before anyone even knew he was there.
But Snow White hasn't disappeared, right?
I don't think so. He just doesn't show himself. But since the other personalities are aware of him, he must still be in there.
Right.
Come to think of it, there was another one.
What?
Going in order. He'd be Alistair's fifth personality after Cinderella, Snow White, Red Riding Hood, and Kaguya.
So there's 6 in total.
Yeah.
I never knew.
Yeah, because I never told you.
Why not?
Because he no longer exists.
He died?
Yeah.
How come?
He was too weak. To Didn't even have a name.
So you met him.
Yeah, just once.
What was he like? It was a he, right?
That's what I was told, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He was a flawless specimen, with all the knowledge and memories of the others. At least, according to the psychiatrist who created him. But he lacked emotions, and his senses were numb. At least, that's how he seemed to me when I met him. Unlike the rest, he didn't have a self.
Imagine not having emotions. That's wild.
It really is.
So what made you decide to tell me after all?
Just felt like it.
Oh, really? There was a stranger inside Alistair's head. Ryoshi claimed he had disappeared, but I wasn't so sure. How to catch a wizard. A week had passed since Alistair joined my family. This all happened within the space of a week. Good golly Wally. My parents and brother were all busy people, which resulted in Alistair and I spending a lot of time alone together. Scandalous. How is it, Alistair? Summoning all my courage, I broke the silence to ask him about the food.
Very good, thank you.
You mean it? I'm so glad. Say, what kind of cuisine do you like the most? Japanese? French? Italian? Let me know if you ever get a craving for something specific. Believe it or not, I can make almost anything.
My favorite food? I don't really have one.
Oh, I see. Well, if you think of anything, let me know.
Okay.
He seemed to hold himself at arm's length from the rest of us. Considering his past, I didn't blame him, but it was still uncomfortable. Alistair! I rose to my feet, reached over, and pinched his cheeks.
Yes, good. What is it?
Just thought I'd soothe those tense nerves with a little massage.
I'm not tense.
You sure? You're a great guy, Alistair. Have a little confidence and keep your head up.
Like this?
Yeah, just like that. This is your house, too. You're allowed to kick back and relax.
No, I'm just a guest here. Thanks for the food. I'll be going now.
Well, you tried the whole mom thing, didn't quite work out. Once we were comfortable in our new home in the countryside, it was time to start thinking about college. And so we both enrolled at local schools. I was accepted at a 4-year university, while Alistair applied to community college. Ideally, I would have liked for both of us to attend the same school, but we weren't on the same level GPA-wise. Humble brag much. Here's your lunch!
Thank you.
There was a question on my mind that I was dying to ask. I gazed into his eyes. Say, I have a favor to ask. Can we walk to school together? Hopefully you have a fun time at college.
Yeah.
Say, can we walk home together too?
I don't mind.
Yay! In contrast to my joy, Alistair looked conflicted. At first, I wasn't looking forward to college, but once I got settled in, it turned out to be pretty fun. You know, Arisu, if you ever have any questions, you can always ask me. Okay, thanks. Oh, and feel free to call me Yurika. Huh? What's wrong? Oh, just wondering, Yurika, but are you wearing colored contacts? Huh? No, this is just how my eyes look. Oh. Is it a disease? No, nothing like that. See, I was born with a condition called heterochromia. Basically, it means my irises aren't all one color. You know how cats sometimes have 2 different eye colors? It's like that. Oh, like the thing you see in manga! Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's amazing! Right? Phew. By this point, I was used to people asking me about my eyes. As a kid, my classmates didn't always get it, but now that I was a young adult, people were a lot more understanding. In fact, I was now more popular than I'd ever been.
Whoa!
Huh? Just then, I crossed paths with a guy in a brown hoodie and our eyes met. He had the whole slow-mo anime thing going on when he saw her, I bet, with like the rose petals floating through the air as she slowly turned towards him.
She's gorgeous. Hi there! I've fallen for you at first sight! Would you please be my girlfriend?
I'm sorry, but I can't. I'm in love with someone else.
And shot down. I gotta say, I admire Wolf's confidence, though. Just like, damn, I'm attracted to you. Would you like to go out? I mean, I gotta give him points for that.
His name was Okami, but he asked me to call him Wolf. Apparently, that was the nickname his grandma gave him.
Cute. Okay.
Like me, he had only just moved to the area. So, Wolf, how long are you planning to follow me?
Until you give me your number.
I told you, I'm in love with someone else.
I know that, but we can still be friends, right? Can't we?
Good point.
Woohoo! Now then, let's...
Oh, Alistair!
Who's Alistair? Aha!
Oh. Wait, what? After that, we all went back to my house to explain the whole thing. What a crazy coincidence! I can't believe the guy I just met today turned out to be Alistair's old friend from years ago.
Yeah, and I never thought you'd be sharing a roof with the exact guy I've been looking for. Wasn't expecting him to have multiple personality disorder either. Come on, you seriously don't remember me?
I'm sorry.
Wow. Okay, can you, like, switch places with Red real quick? That's a no, huh?
Wolf, DID is a disorder where detached emotions and memories take on a personality of their own. Because they all have to share the same body, they don't all have the same memories. The personalities themselves can speak to each other, but...
But Alistair can't since he's the main guy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I think I got it. So basically, I'm meeting this version of him for the first time?
Yeah.
Then let's start over. I'm Wolf. I only just moved back to the area, and I'm looking to make friends. Nice to meet ya.
Nice to meet you, Wolf.
I hope you're cool with nicknames, cause I'm gonna call you Blondie.
Blondie?
Yep. Let's have a lot of fun together, eh, Blondie? Huh? What's with the funny look?
So you believe that I have multiple personalities?
Of course.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Do you go around doubting your friends? I mean, yeah, it sounds like something out of a manga, but neither of you guys seem like the type to lie for attention. Besides, I already met one of them myself, right? And if I remember right, Red was pretty different from you. I think. Anyways, don't sweat the small stuff. I'm friends with Red, so that makes you my friend too.
The conversation dragged on for so long, I ended up inviting Wolf to have dinner with us. All part of his plan.
Thanks for the grub. It was amazing. I'd love to eat more sometime.
You said you live by yourself, right? Do you cook?
Well, I can make a couple things.
Cool, cool.
Anyway, see you tomorrow.
See you. Take care on your way home.
Will do.
As I waved goodbye to Wolf, I snuck a glance at Alistair. He seemed pretty happy to have made friends with a guy his own age. He seems like a really nice guy, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, yes. Of course.
Look here, Alistair. You don't have to be perfectly polite all the time. You can just be yourself.
No, I can't.
He bowed his head in apology, then went back inside the house. As for me, I turned and ran after Wolf.
Okay.
Fortunately, he wasn't too hard to find. So that's what happened after that. Wolf! Huh? What's up, homegirl? I wish I had a friend that just was like, what's up, homegirl? I just wanted to thank you for all your help today. I was wrong about you. You're actually a great guy.
I know, right? I'm the bee's knees. Did I make you swoon?
And here I thought you were just a vapid, frivolous, thoughtless guy.
Dude, don't roast me.
See, the thing is, my brother told me Alistair could really use some friends his age, and I agree with him. So I appreciate you being around, Wolf. I think you two could be good for each other.
What about you, Alisu?
I think Alistair is avoiding me. And besides...
He's the someone else you're in love with.
Is it that obvious?
Majorly.
Do you think he knows?
Not yet, but it's only a matter of time.
Uh-oh. I admit, I do have feelings for him, but lately I'm not sure what to think anymore. Like you, I first met him when I was a kid, but he doesn't remember that.
Was it one of his other personalities?
I don't know. We were apart for so long, I figure maybe his personality changed over time. Or maybe the prince from my childhood was actually someone else.
Prince? Really?
I mean it! Alice was a dashing prince. He helped me. So now I'm going to help him.
Right. I'll do some research and find out more about DID. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with, and I'll lend a hand.
Thanks. And so Wolf and I became friends. Forever in the friend zone. I salute you, Wolf. But what I really wanted was for Wolf to be part of Alistair's support network. Thus, I introduced him to my brother.
I wonder why Red Riding Hood won't come out to see me.
Maybe it's because you're associated with his trauma.
What? How come?
From what Cinderella told me, his mother contributed to the birth of Snow White and Red Riding Hood. I imagine she must have had some awareness that her son was developing other personalities. That's why she tried to keep him inside at all costs. But that limitation backfired and created another personality.
You mean Red Riding Hood?
Yes. Red Riding Hood snuck out of the house to play with you while his mother was at work. And from what you've told me, it sounds like some awful things happened. If I had to guess, a lot of those things overlapped, and he started blaming himself for all of it. Red Riding Hood is chained down by his guilt. He just doesn't know it. Probably doesn't want to know, I guess. That's why he subconsciously rejects us.
Us?
He avoids me too, you know.
Why would he avoid you?
Because I met him around the same time.
What?
Originally, I thought Snow White was the first one I met. But after hearing your story, it all clicks. The first time I saw Alistair, I was saving a drowning kid from the lake.
Wait. But that means...
You guessed it. That kid was you.
You're the guy who saved my life?
You don't recognize him? My brother hasn't aged a day.
Look, I I was kind of busy trying not to die, you know. I didn't get a good look at his face. When I asked who saved me, all they told me was that he never cracked a smile.
Sounds like me.
Are you for real? Oh my god, this is wild! I can't believe it! You're the guy who saved me!
Is it cool if I punch this kid?
Please don't. As we talked, I noticed Alistair looking conflicted. He's upset about Mom. That night I was washing dishes as per usual when he suddenly approached me.
Hey,
Huh?
I can do that for you.
Oh, you don't have to. I almost said just sit down and relax, but thought better of it. You could help, though. I'll wash the dishes and you can dry them. Sound good, Alice?
No, I can do all of it.
What was that? You want to try again? Ultimately, we ended up doing the dishes together. As a heavy silence lingered, I struggled to think of what to say. Listen, Alistair. His hands fell still for a moment. This is just my interpretation, but I think your mother wanted to understand you. I had paused to consider why he had looked so uncomfortable during the conversation, and then it hit me. He probably really loved his mom. At this, his eyes widened, and then...
Yeah, I think so too.
For the first time, he smiled at me.